going with Mike?
We're good. We're good. We are officially about 6 months married now. I feel like I've been talking about it for so long. It feels more like 6 years, but 6 months married. Been together for about 3.5 years now, and it's good. We got,
Wow.
the world has changed a lot
Yeah.
since we have been together and since we got married, but things are good. Things are
Yeah,
good. Just trying to always, with my schedule and his schedule, just trying to figure out how to balance married life with work life. And,
for
we have
sure.
kids. It's just a lot, but things are well. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and from what I understand, you both will eventually reside in Atlanta, and I know you're happy about that, right?
Oh, yes, for sure. For sure. Mike just recently got a job with BNC, which is the Black News Channel, and it actually is here in Atlanta. So a lot of the fans wanted to know, like, where are you guys going to live? We have a home in Los Angeles. Of course, I'm here now speaking to you at Lake Bailey on the Hill. And God just kind of made the decision for us because he got this job, and this is where he will have to actually officially be once everything completely opens up. Right now, I'm actually in his office now. Normally, this TV is on. This is like his background for his news channel network,
Nice.
and he has a matching one in Los Angeles as well. So, it's all good.
I
The
love
Lord
it.
worked it out.
Yeah, right. Because the Lord will always come through. We know that.
Won't he do it?
He
Won't
sure
he do
will all the time.
it?
So, Cynthia, I know that you, as well as the other members of the cast, you guys are talking about the show a lot. Now, I'm not going. I know
Yes.
you done flipped it, twisted it. You've talked about it from every angle. So.
Yes.
I do want to touch on a couple of things, but what I really want to do in all complete honesty is get to know you as a person and then
Okay.
get to shed some light on, you have a lot of fans and a lot of people who would love to know you outside of the show.
Okay. I
So,
love that.
okay. So, and I had a quick question for you overall about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Did you
Okay.
have an end game when it came to like joining the show? Were you like, listen, you know, after so many seasons, I think I'll be good? Or are you arriving at a place where you feel like it's done, or are you just gonna roll till the wheels fall off?
Well, I mean, we all know that the Real Housewives of Atlanta platform is amazing.
Yeah.
I've done a pretty good job at, using it to help promote all of my different businesses that I have going on. My most recent is the Bailey Wine Cellar. So it's an amazing platform, regardless of how busy and booked we are all the time and the other opportunities that constantly come my way and to my cast members' way. It's a great show. It's a
Yeah.
great show. And it does take up a lot of our time and a lot of our lives. But at the end of the day, for me, I'm enjoying it right now. I'm
Okay.
still enjoying it. I think I'm on my 11th season.
Hmm.
So with that said, look, all good things must come to an end at some point. By the grace of God, I'm on this show. I never planned on being on a reality show.
Hmm.
Here I am on, and I definitely didn't think I would last this long on one. However, God's will, not my will, be done always. So when it's time to go, I will happily go. I've made so many incredible memories that I can look at for the rest of my life on this show. And I'm good. As long as I'm happy, I am good. There's other, opportunities on other shows that we all, for me, for my family, for my husband, that's what I'll do.
Okay, that makes perfect sense, and I get that. And speaking of other opportunities, someone wanted to know in the comments if you would consider a spinoff. Do you think that there could be one in the works?
I'm never going to say never. I
Hmm.
honestly can't say that I've ever taken a spinoff pitch to Bravo. This show takes up about 6 months of my life where we're filming.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time, a lot of work. Even after we finish shooting, we have to do, confessionals. We're always promoting the show. It's kind of a nonstop grind. So honestly, whenever we stop filming, I'm always like, whew, okay, now I can focus on some other things.
Yeah.
And for me, if the right spinoff opportunity came up, yeah, I would be open to it. Of course, I would be open to it. But honestly, I like having a life outside of the show and outside of television. So it feels good, honestly, to just be able to not have a camera in your face for like,
Hmm.
for 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine. Um, so as far as the show goes, we've seen you. The beautiful part is that you have been able to showcase a lot of your businesses. I mean, Cynthia, you are AKA 50 Cent at one point. You're AKA queen of many streams. I mean, you literally,
Hashtag chill, all of
yeah,
that stuff.
right. You are literally a serial entrepreneur. And so you have your wine cellar, which I think is amazing,
Yep.
as well as your, there you go. I mean, you should
In
have sent
partnership
some
with
my way,
Seagram's. I
and
know,
we could have been
it's still
drinking
not.
together.
I know, and that I will definitely do that the next time, and I'm going to have them send you some your way for future, because you have not tried my Seagram's Escape Peach Bellini. You're
Uh,
missing out,
oh, that
definitely.
sounds amazing.
And some of my Bellinis made its way to Turks and Caicos as well, so
Oh,
it's
I
good.
love that. I love that.
But anyway, so
Congratulations. So
thank you so much.
Cynthia, what's behind the drive of, like, have you always been like that? I know you started modeling early on, but you have business after business after business. What's behind
Yes.
that?
Well, I've always been ambitious. I'm
Mm-hmm.
originally from Huntsville, Alabama, but I actually grew up in a small town called Tuscumbia, Alabama, but nobody really knows where that is, so I just say Huntsville,
Mm-hmm.
Alabama, child. I'm a country girl at the end of the day. I left
Okay.
there when I was 18 years old to pursue my modeling career in New York City, which I was there for years, and then I met my ex-husband, and I moved to Atlanta. No plans of being on a reality show. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
Pisces. I'm a lover of love. I just kind of go with my heart, and I'm not really afraid to get out of my comfort zone and try new things. Um, anyway, what was the question now? Because I done got into something else.
Yeah,
What was the
your
original question?
drive.
My
I
drive,
want
my
to know
drive.
about your drive. Yeah.
Okay, so my drive. I was getting to that. So, I've always been an ambitious person. In terms of my drive, I grew up. I don't want to say poor, but definitely we didn't, lower middle class at best.
Okay.
I'll just say that. Didn't have a lot, but we always had enough, and that was fine. But I always wanted more. I always wanted to be in position to be financially independent. So not having that growing up, when you have, financial independence, you have options. You have choices. My mom ended up staying in relationships because she didn't have that. And I always said, I never want to be in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't grow up thinking, oh, I want to be a boss. But I did grow up thinking, I want to be able to have my own money, so that if I'm ever in any situation I do not want to be in, I can change that situation. So, yes. And what pushes me is probably the fear of not having money, the
Okay.
fear of not having choices, the fear of being stuck in a situation that I don't want to be stuck in.
Hmm.
And that's pretty much it. And that's like that whole poverty conscious mentality. But when you grow up poor, you're like, you don't want to be poor no more.
Exactly.
I ain't gotta be the richest, but please don't make me be poor.
Yep.
So, that's pretty much where everything comes from. And then just in terms of being on the show, it's such an amazing platform. So for me, I don't want to be on the show just to be about drama. Like, I want to
Mm-hmm.
be inspiration for other women that want to start businesses. So for me, I've started a business every year that I've been on the show,
Hmm.
with the exception of the COVID year.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try to be that example to women. Like, we can have fun. Of course, we're going to disagree. And of course, it's a drama based show. I get all of that. But at the same time, I feel like that balance of just showing, I love watching, my castmates and all their business ventures.
Yeah.
I am a supporter of Black women, Black businesses. And I always want to help create that balance of, hey, we're over here turning up and we're over here, yeah, blah, blah, but whatever. I'm over here opening up this wine cellar as
Yep.
well. And I think that's important. I think people don't only just watch the show for the drama. I think they also need inspiration from women who do come from humble beginnings, who are able to
Right.
end up on television and
Yeah.
and make it work for them and create other opportunities as a result of being on television.
Absolutely. So we obviously we've seen a lot of your businesses on the show, and I'm assuming that a lot of the businesses have been thriving and that they've done well for, for you and for your family. But do you have stories that you've tried things and it just didn't work out? It didn't pan out, businesses that have
Oh,
failed? Can
girl,
you
how much
tell
time
us
do you
about
have?
some of that? Tell us
How much
about,
time do you have? Of course I do. Of
okay.
course I do. As an entrepreneur, of course you're going to, I get approached with tons of business opportunities all the time.
Mhm.
First of all, everything is not for me. I don't I've learned the power of saying no to some things. And it's
Okay.
not just about, oh, well, this is going to make me money. But if it doesn't make sense for my brand, and I've been able to do a really good job of having a consistent brand where, really top companies want to pursue me.
Hmm.
So, with that said, going back to the original question, I absolutely want to make sure that I am constantly putting that positive image out there, that
Hmm.
business image out there, um, being someone on the show that again is someone that you guys can always know. Well, if Cynthia can do it, I can do it.
Hmm.
That's very, very important to me.
Yeah. And I think that, so what we were talking about is equally, uh because it is inspiring. Obviously, you see a black woman or black women
Hmm.
who are thriving in their businesses, putting it out there for the world to see, but it's also
Hmm.
inspiring when you know what, she hasn't always succeeded in
Oh,
some
for
things.
sure. Oh, and that's what you were asking me about
Yeah.
originally. Situations where it didn't work out. I had a hairline in the business. I had a hairline early on
Mm.
that didn't work out, and that just ended up being basically just not the right situation with the partners that
Okay.
approached me about the deal. So a lot of deals kind of end up going left. A lot of businesses don't work out because the people that you're in business maybe kind of don't work out. And the
Hmm.
more, you learn and the more famous you become on the show, you have to be careful about, who you're in business with.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you just got on TV. So you're happy that people are coming at you like, yeah, I want to do a hairline. Yeah, I want to do a jean shirt line. I want to do all of
Yeah.
that stuff. But you also, as a businesswoman, you have to be careful about who you do business with because everyone does not do the right business.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
Is
I've definitely had some situations like that I had to walk away from. And now I'm
Yeah.
much more cautious about who I do business with. I pretty much try to invest in myself and do my own businesses unless it's a company that I'm very comfortable with, that I've researched their background. I have, agents and stuff in place now to help me vet things out.
Hmm.
When you first come, you don't have a publicist, you don't have an agent, you don't have,
Right.
all these, you don't have a team in the beginning to help you figure it out. And you're
Hmm.
just happy to be getting the opportunities. But every opportunity is maybe not the right opportunity for you. And it's definitely, you got to see who you're in business with as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now your daughter Noelle, we've watched her grow up on the show as well. And now we're watching her as an adult and she's doing her
Yes.
own thing. What are some of the lessons that you try to teach her as far as like business? Is she entrepreneurial as well?
You know what she really is? Noelle is living out in Los Angeles now. You guys watched her go off to college,
Mm-hmm.
and college didn't work out for her. It just
Yeah.
wasn't the right choice for her. Now, I'm very big on college and education and all of that. However, I didn't go because it just would I couldn't afford to go where I wanted to go, and it just was not a part of my story and my journey.
Mm-hmm.
So, her dad, Leon, and I, we never wanted to force it on her, but we were excited when she wanted to go, and we were super excited that she, chose a black college, Howard
Yes.
University,
Yep.
and it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay because she went and she tried and she decided she wanted to move to LA and she wanted to go more into acting and influencing, being
Mm-hmm.
an influencer. And she's doing very, very well. And one of the things I'll say about Noelle and just about being a mom in general, you can hope that your kids are paying attention. You can want your kids to want the things that you want for your kids, but it's really truly up to your kids to be great. I can't
Mm-hmm.
live Noelle's life. I can't make her do anything that she does not want to do. I can't make her be successful. All I can do is be a good mother to her and lead by example. And the
Yeah.
good news is all this time she's been paying attention to my hustle and my grind. So, it's not a matter of me being in her face all the time, like, hey, Noelle, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm like, listen, first of all, you got to be happy.
Yeah.
You got to be happy because no matter how successful you are, if you don't have happiness and peace, then it kind of doesn't really matter.
Yep.
So for me, that was more important. She was not happy in college. And I would go visit her and I would be like, what is going on? This is not my child. Like, this is like, why are you here if you don't want to be here? And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, in a lot of ways, and most kids do that. She's like, well, I mean, you guys really wanted me to go to college and whatever. I'm like, girl, listen, I don't you can't live your life for me. And if I
Yeah.
ever made you feel like you had to make this choice for me, then let's pack up your stuff now. and
Mm-hmm.
leave,
Good.
because it's not going to work if you don't want to be there. It's not
Right.
going to work if it's not coming from your heart. Like, you can't live for me. My life was my life and my journey, and your life and your journey will be yours as well. So
Yeah.
I'm incredibly proud of Noelle. She's finding her way. She just turned 21 years old in November, and she's still finding herself. She's still finding her identity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as a celebrity kid, you got to remember her dad's been in movies for a long time. Noelle's always been around the business long before I got on reality television.
Mm-hmm.
Leon used to be the famous one in the family, and I used to
Yeah.
take his pictures. Now I'm famous, she's famous, you know,
Yep.
and and so with that said, she never wanted to be like us because we're her parents. She's like, she wanted her own identity, and a lot
Yeah.
of her identity is being Leon's daughter and Cynthia Bailey's daughter. And
Yeah.
Noelle wants to be Noelle. And I think a lot of celebrity kids struggle with that because they are their own person and they
Yeah.
have their own life and their own journey. So she's finding her and she's doing her. And I support her in every way.
That's awesome. Now you've shared your daughter with us, her dad with us as
Mhm.
well, your husband, your life. But I'm really curious about your friends outside of the show. Now we
Mm,
don't get to see your friends. I mean, maybe if you have an event or something like that, we'll
yes.
see them in the background, right?
Right,
But
right.
I'm sure you have really close ride or die friends who are not a part of the show. How did they feel about situations that you may get into on the
Oh my
shows?
God.
Do they want to
Well,
jump in there? How do they handle that?
well, first of all, um, my friends outside of the show, they, a lot of them were very leery of me going on the show. At the time
Okay.
I came on the show was season 3 for me, and it was very drama based. And if you guys haven't figured this out already, I'm not really that dramatic. I'm
Right.
not super confrontational. I
Yeah.
really am about that love and light life. I really do come in peace. Like, you have to come get me all the way out of my bag for me to really come for you. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's
Yep.
why I pretty much, I'm closer to certain women on the show than others, but I'm pretty cool with most of them,
Okay.
for the most part. But yeah, my friends, and I don't want to say my real friends, my friends
Hmm.
outside of the show, because, I have real friendships, obviously, with the ladies on the show as well.
Hmm.
A lot of them, they watch the show. Some of them actually have told me they can't watch the show because they just don't like um, some of the things that happen on the show.
Wow.
They don't like some of the, the dynamics of, just even some of the people that I'm friends with on the show. If anything happens, if someone goes against me, they just get so personally invested. They're like, I just cannot watch this. I cannot watch this. So they're very
Yeah.
protective of me in that way. A lot of my friends, I've wanted to be a part of different things that I do on the show, but they don't want to be on the show. They don't want to be on TV. They're not, they have their own lives and families, and they just honestly don't want to be a part of it. And I have to understand that and respect
Sure.
that. With that said, yeah, I have great friends.
Hmm.
And, I moved to Atlanta from New York. Most of my friends are still live in New York City. And, I still get a lot of love and support from them, but they were pretty much, most of them were pretty mortified when I said I was coming on the show.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and for me, I was like, well, but they did, they were kind of mortified when I decided to move to Atlanta from New York. I had a very successful life in New York as a model,
Hmm.
and I was doing very well. And I moved for love, and they were like, "Why are you moving to Atlanta? Like, who lives in New York City? New York is a very like pro New
Exactly.
York. It's like, girl,
Yes.
you're in New York. Everybody's trying to get to New York. You
Yeah.
don't move from New York to Atlanta. You move from Atlanta to New York.
That's right. Especially
So
if you've made it in New York.
thank
So,
you. And
yeah.
and if you truly, if you can make it in New York, you can truly make it anywhere. So if you balling out of New York, you are successful. You have arrived.
Yeah.
And that's just how they felt about it. But and then when I decided to go on the show, I got a lot of pushback from my friends, like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Have you seen the show?
Hmm.
They're gonna eat you up alive. And trust and believe, when I came on first season, I came in with the attitude of, hey, if they're nice to me, if I'm nice to them, these girls will be nice to me. Who
Yeah.
could not like me? Like, I'll just be cool with them. I'm gonna be best friends with everyone. And girl, when I tell you, they lit my ass on fire. I was like, wait, what is going on? They had me looking like a stalker, like Nene
Yeah.
Stalker with the whole friend contract. My marriage was falling apart before I could even get married. We were like, the money we had, we were losing it. Like, I was like, how
Oh
can
my
all
God.
this happen? And I had to really live that on the show and in real life, because that wasn't, the storyline thing comes up a lot, but I've never
Mhm.
had to make up a storyline. Like my storyline
Yeah.
is my life, and I've always been very transparent, probably to a fault, to be
Mhm.
honest. But I don't know any other way to do this. You know,
Yeah.
I'm okay with people seeing me at the top, seeing me at the bottom, you know, the peaks, the valleys, like the good, the
Yeah.
bad, because that's life and that's real.
Yeah. I think that is what people really like about you, because you are really just real. That's probably one of the best words to describe it. But speaking of that, there's so many people, and I've had chats with a lot of people who've done reality TV,
Mm-hmm.
and people have different things to say about editing and how they're showcased on a
Mm.
show. Do you have any
Ooh.
qualms about how you're presented? Is that pretty accurate how you are, or is some of the stuff like, listen, they know they was wrong for how they how they edited that part?
Well, of course. I mean, if I could just get in that editing room, honey, just one season, like my
Right.
life would be amazing. You know,
Yeah.
we shoot so much footage. You know, I'm pretty neutral from the most part, so I probably shoot more than anyone because I get invited to everything. I really love
Hmm.
and supporting all the women, even if we're not in a good place. I'm still going to
Yeah.
support you if you're doing something good, for the people, especially for the culture.
Hmm.
Like I'm there and be like, you can start, I can be mad at you again after the event.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, it's so funny because with editing, we shoot so much. There's so many things that we shoot that doesn't make the show.
Yeah.
And you guys have to remember, I'm a part of an ensemble cast, so it's
Hmm.
not just about me. So you guys really only get snippets of my life. So
Right.
if I did, going back to your question that you asked me before, if I did do something else in reality TV in that lane, one of the things that I could be interested in doing something that really showcase me a lot more so you guys can really get to know me because there's always the perception out there of
Yeah.
only what you guys see and people think that that's completely who we are and
Yeah.
you guys don't. That's so many layers to all of us, and we just kind of have to deal with what you guys see and we're always at the mercy of editing. That's just how it
That's
works.
right.
They have to like edit the show. They can't keep everything in,
Hmm.
but we all have so much more, depth to us. There's, I do other things other than, be in love with Mike all day long. And it sounds on the show, I'm like Mike. And,
Yep.
there's so much more to me as a person. I have so many different layers and, so many other things that I would like to talk about, but it's not my show. So,
That's true.
um,
Well, today is about you, though. This moment is about you. So tell
well,
us,
thank
give
you.
me 3 words, if you can do that. I mean, I know that's kind
Okay.
of hard, but 3 words to describe who you are. Well, no, give me
Okay.
3 positive words and I got some work to do, maybe some not
Okay.
so good words about you.
Okay. I would say the first 3 words that come to mind to describe me is class. I definitely try to handle myself with class, even if I'm being strapped into a sex swing with my bachelorette party. I still
It
try
was
to have
classy.
some class, okay? All
Yeah.
right. The other thing is work ethic.
Mm.
I'm a hard worker. All I do is work. I didn't have a choice but to work.
Mhm.
My grandmother, may she rest in peace, told me as simple as it sounds, is if I'm willing to work hard for it, I can have anything I want in life. And I was like, oh, so if I just work, even if I have to have like 20 jobs, I can create the life that I want for myself.
Yeah.
So I may not be the most entertaining. I may not be the funniest. I may not be the finest. I may not be the prettiest, but I can outwork anybody because mama shows up to work and
I love
I
it.
am happy to be there. So classy, work ethic, and then I would say the last thing would be spiritual.
Mm.
Spirituality is very important to me. I have to have an outlet. I
Yeah.
have to have that time to myself to woosah. It's no surprise that I chose to have my dream house be here on the lake.
Yeah.
Being water and sun, all those different elements are very important to me, to my spirit. I don't wake up every day wanting to do the WAP. I have
Mhm.
to feel good. I have to.
Yep.
I got my candles. I got my incense. I got my quotes. I'm
Yes.
always pulling from. I got God. I am a believer in God. I pray. One of the things my husband and I do every night, even when we're not in the same home, is we pray together. And that has been really strong and helpful for our relationship. But my spirituality matters to me. I have to have some balance. I just can't not have that in my life, because it really, at the end of the day, I need other positive spiritual forces to help me, to push me to continue to deal with life and different things. And I think at the end of the day, one of my favorite things that I pretty much say every day, even if I don't say it out loud, I say it in my mind in every situation. I can get in my car and start driving. I'll just say, not my will, God's will be done. So when I say that, to me, anything that's going to happen, good, bad, if it's God's will, I'm okay, because God is in control. God is in control. I'm not in control. So, because we all have bad days. We all have bad things that happen to us, our family members. And I'm like, God's will be done, not my will, God's will be done. And that's it. So the second part of your question, I think, was the bad stuff.
Let us know.
Because there is. Wow, I'm a positive person, so I don't do well with negative energy. I don't feel like, being on a reality show is always uplifting, I have no control over casting. I never have no control over the people that I'm around. So I don't thrive in negative energy. I am a positive person. Even family members, like, they don't even know they're being negative, but as soon as that energy starts coming, like, I literally am like, okay, gotta go. Good team. All right, what's Tupperware? Let me take my food to go. Like, it just deflates me. And I really try to focus on being positive. Positive energy, positive affirmation is very important to me. So no negative energy. What else is bad? I think one of the other things is just not having the time that I want to not only spend with my daughter, with my two bonus daughters. I'm pulled in a lot of different directions, and I always think, oh, well, when I get back from Turks and Caicos, I'll have this amount of days off and I'll do this. And now I have to go back and shoot another, I have a recurring role on the Games People Play. I think it's Games People Play on BET. So thank you
Love
so
that.
much.
Yes.
And I'm not complaining, because again, when you grow up pretty much poor, like anything, you have this fear of leaving anything on the table, because you always think it's going to come to an end. And I know things will eventually come to an end, but at the same time, you have to find time for the things that you love and that are important to you. And I don't want to have all this success and not have a relationship with my daughter and my other kids at the end of the day. Like, I have to make time for that. And I'm in a new marriage at 6 months. Well, getting married is one part of it. Staying married is the second part.
Right.
Like, you actually have to be a wife and do wife stuff, I have, some help. I do have my assistant Chandler, who's sitting over here right now. We have like a million things to do when we get off of this call. But it's not like I'm going to order takeout for my husband every day. Like, he likes my cooking. I'm actually a really good cook. A lot of you guys don't really get to see that. And, my wifely duties at night,
Right.
When Mike is here, you got to keep your game up a little bit. Instagram did not make it easy for us now in this world. A lot of temptations out here. So I got to be shaved up, keep it all together. Like, hey.
Tucked away. I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can walk around here looking crazy, but when you got a man, you're like, okay, you have to make a little bit more of an effort, because like, I don't want, even with Mike, when, we met, we both gained all this weight in the quarantine and stuff. And, that wasn't the Mike that I met, and I wasn't the Cynthia that he met. So we both looked at each other like, who's going to make the sandwich next? And at the same time, we both were just sitting over here with these stomachs and all that stuff. But so, so let me see. What else? One last thing that's probably that's not that great. I would say, one of the things, as a reality star, you sign up for this. Obviously, I signed up to be a public figure. I signed up to be on this show. So with that comes love and hate. And nobody likes hate. Like, I would never, I watch a lot of other shows. I watch, as a reality star, I watch other reality shows. I watch Love and Hip Hops. I watch all of it, okay? I would never take the time to get on my social media and be like, I can't stand you. Like, you cannot imagine some of the things that we hear, the things that people say to us. It's hard.
Yeah.
to deal with all of that. And then, you know, everyone's like, oh, just don't read the comments. And at this point, I don't really read the comments that much, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I just got time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no matter how much people are like, oh my God, you look so great. You look so great for your age. I wish I could look like you when I turn 54 and all your cheekbones, all the braids, everything. Like you go past all of that, child, and you go to that one damn comment.
Yes.
That's like, I can't stand you. I don't use, you need to be fired. I don't want to watch you on the show. And you're like, oh my God, really?
Oh. So it still bothers you to this day after all of these seasons? It still gets to you?
And I don't even, this is a person with 0 followers and no face on their Instagram, but it's like, it doesn't bother me to the point where I'm like, oh my God, like this is horrible that this troll hates me. But at the same time, you know, it's still negative energy. And I'm an energy person, and I don't like, get off. If you don't like me, don't follow me.
Yes,
like,
just go.
I didn't ask you to come over here. Don't torture yourself, child. If you don't like me, I like anyone that's following Cynthia Bailey on Instagram. I want you to actually want to follow me and want to know what I'm doing. Like, please don't follow me just to hate, because that just makes no sense. I don't follow anyone that I don't like. I follow people that I actually want to see their life and be inspired by what they're doing, or just be nosy or whatever it is, you know. Never hate. Never hate.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I mean, I feel like we all, you know, want to know a little bit more about you just personally. So this is good. And I do have a couple of before I let you go, because I know you have a busy day. I do have some more personal questions, but I wanted to know very quickly, because they're asking here in the comments, speaking of the fact that, you know, you have good energy, and how can people not like you? You have had some separations from people on the show, but have you reconciled with people like Nene? Are you guys cool now? How is that relationship going?
You know what? I will speak for myself. I feel like we left off in a cordial place and in a respectful place, and I'm fine with that. I'm so fine with that. You know, she was like my first friend on the show. Like, I came on the show with her, so I will always have that love and that bond with her no matter what. And we had a lot of fun together. We had she made me laugh like nobody else. And I just hold on to those good memories. But to answer your question, and I recently saw that her aunt passed. Yeah. And of course, I didn't reach out to her personally. I don't think I'm blocked anymore, but I just, of course, respectfully went on her social media, because I don't even want to make her feel like she has to respond to me. You know what I mean? So I just went on there with everybody else and just said, I send my condolences. I've met her aunt. I know how close she was to her aunt. My heart was broken when that happened. I know that was difficult for her. Yeah. You know, in another life, if I could have picked up the phone and called and whatever. In my heart, I just felt like, you know what, let me just do it this way, because we're not in that place of like, hey, you know, whatever. And I'm not trying to force any relationships or friendships at this point. Like I said, we had a good time together. And for me, it's always love and respect. If I run into her at the airport, I'm definitely going to go over and say hello. I don't know if she would do the same, but that's just how I move. And I'm not going to be friends with somebody that many years and see them like at Publix and not say hi and act like I don't see them, you know? Exactly. I mean, I just can't. I'm like, it's harder not to. It's easier to be kind than it is to not be.
Yeah. Do you have a feeling one way or the other? I know there was a recent comment that someone said, I don't even want to blast this out, but she said that that Nene is no longer relevant right now. I guess maybe since being off of the show. But a lot of people came to Nene's defense, and they were like, well, she was the queen of, you know, reality TV and just the bigness of reality TV. Do you have a comment about that one way or the other? Like relevancy?
I do.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Look, friends are not friends. No matter what my relationship is with this woman, you cannot take away what Nene Leakes has done on this show. When you think of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, you think of Nene Leakes. It just is what it is. And I'm always going to give her flowers and her props. She ain't never got to give me mine. That's fine. Okay. But I'm going to give her hers because those are her flowers. Yeah. You know, when I came on the show, I didn't hear about the rest. I just heard about Nene, this Nene character, Nene Leakes. And I ended up being friends with her on the show. So anyway, long story short, Nene's Good TV, you know, like I said, all things come to an end for all of us.
Yeah.
My time is coming. Candy's time is coming. You know, however it comes, whether we choose to go or they choose not to have us on, whatever it is. But I've always thought that she was entertaining.
Okay.
And you know, I pray that she puts herself in a situation where she can continue to entertain the millions and millions of fans that she has.
That's really nice. That's really nice, Cynthia.
It's the truth, though.
It's the truth.
I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I really honestly do.
And I feel
enjoyed watching her on television. I do. I really do. And I mean it for anyone that I've ever had a relationship with, that I've been friends with. And you know, for me, this is the growth. You know, I'm 54 years old now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You know.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's just give a moment to that 54.
Hey, 54. 50 Cent, baby.
That's right.
But anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. And this is something that I live by. Mm-hmm. You don't have to, you know, to me, and I think, you know, after going through what the world has gone through at this point, love is a beautiful thing. Yeah. However, you get love from family, friends, if you have a husband, a boo, a babe, whatever it is. I choose to give love, regardless of whether or not you choose to give it back to me. That's my choice. I have to give that. I want peace. I want all of those things. And it's not for you. It's actually for me. Mm-hmm. It makes me feel good. And you don't even have to give it back. How about that?
That's a beautiful place to be in life. That is beautiful. Yep. Okay, Cynthia, before I let you go, I truly appreciate all of the time that you've given us today. But I wanted to know, do you have a song that pumps you up? Do you have a song that's like the soundtrack of your life right now? What's a Cynthia pump me up song?
Soundtrack of my life. What's my song? What's that song I always sing that makes me happy? That Chris Brown song? Amazing. I don't even know. You know, what is it called? But no, but it's like, what's the lines to
Chris
it?
Brown?
Easy. How it go? It's amazing. Is it even Chris Brown? Okay, it's the Chris Brown song. It's called Amazing. And
I love anything Chris Brown. Okay.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And it's it makes you feel like you can just do anything, and the world is yours. And he may be talking about the prostitute fall. I know. You know, a lot of times I like songs. I like the beat. I like the beat. I'm like, oh, that's what they're talking about. You know, that's when the TT comes in. When Noah's like, Mom, you know what that means, right? When he said, I'm like, oh, I didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that song really makes me happy. You know, it's like, you know, boosts me up for sure.
I like that. When is the last time you laughed until you cried, or just laughed hysterically, you know, just wild? When was the last time you laughed?
I just came back from Turks and Caicos.
There you have it.
We had, you know, I definitely had a little bit of drama there, but for the most part, we laughed. Like, I honestly don't even like to put the eyeliner in the bottom of my eyes anymore when I'm filming, because usually if I'm working, I laugh so much it's always coming down. So I usually just let them do the top, be like, don't even fool with the bottom, because I know I got to go to work and somebody's going to be cracking me up. And I love it. Laughter is good for the soul. It's always good to not. I don't take myself that seriously. I do take my job seriously, but I also understand that it's a job and it's our job to entertain you guys. I laugh me all day long. I'm TT, whatever you want to call me. I don't care. I own every bit of Cynthia Bailey.
I love that. And the last question that I have for you, Versus is coming up, and I know you know that SWV versus Escape. Who are you going for? I want to see your answer. Come on, Cynthia.
Okay. Now, you know good and well I'm going to ride with my girl Candy, because that's my girl. So that automatically kind of puts me on the Escape side. But I love SWV. Like, I love those ladies as well. And I would have to say one of my favorite songs is an SWV song. Of course, I can't think of it right now because they know you're going to ask me that. What's that song? It's a slow song. Channel is like, leave me alone. This is your interview.
Is it Weak? Or
that's it. That's it.
Weak.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. All right.
I get so weak in my knees. I can hardly speak. I lose. Yeah, that one.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love it. I love
I love that. But now that is one of my favorite songs. But I'm gonna have to come on back over to the Escape side because I got to
You got to
support my
ride
girl.
with Candy.
But they're all amazing and talented ladies, so I'm excited to watch it.
Beautiful. Cynthia, thank you so much. Much love to you, your family,
Thank
your
you.
businesses. May you continue to thrive. And clearly, as I'm reading in the comments, so many people love you. So just keep shining.
Thank
Keep
you.
shining. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, and thank you for such a fun interview. Like I love what I enjoyed about this interview is you actually wanted to get to know me, and I thought I was going to have to talk about housewives the whole time. And not that I don't enjoy it, honey. Lord
Yeah.
knows I talk about it enough, but I appreciate that you wanted to get to know me better, and I respect that. Thank you so much, and you were lovely.
Thank you.
And also, I
Thank
think
you.
someone had reached out about Noelle doing a live with you guys at some point.
Yes.
We got
Yes.
to
I
make
think
that happen. I know she wants to do it, so I'll make sure that that happens because
yeah.
it's funny. She doesn't really do lives. You know, she just never like, she's kind of like, has like a little social anxiety. Sometimes she's like, I never
Okay.
do lives. And I'm like, is that like an older person thing? Like the young guys, y'all don't really go on live like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So, but she said when I told her, she was excited and she was like, yeah, you know, I'll do it. So we got to make that happen
Awesome.
so you
We will
guys can ask
definitely
her.
make it
So.
happen. And I would love to be the one to sit with her and chat
Oh,
because
I'm going to request you
yes,
because
thank you so much.
I feel
Thank
like you
you.
were just beautiful and I know she would appreciate your spirit and your energy. So
Oh, Cynthia, thank you so much. We love
you're
you and
welcome.
just keep doing you. Keep shining.
Thank you. Thank you. Keep me in prayer, girl. And all
Absolutely.
my amazing fans. I love you guys. Thank you guys for always riding with me. You know, the best is yet to come. The best
That's
is
right.
yet to come. And I love you guys and I would not be where I am without you. So thank you for your support.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest
All
of your
right.
day. Stay safe too.
Yes, you too. God bless.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.